So the next solution we're gonna cover is Produmex Scan. So what is Produmex Scan? And just remember, we also have Produmex WMS. WMS is a full-blown warehouse management system, okay? Scan, I'm gonna show you because Scan totally supports SAP Logic, and I usually say it's like SAP on a scanner. Okay, so instead for you to have a PC out in the warehouse and every time you get items or do a delivery, you have to run in a corner and do a delivery or a goods receipt, you can do it from a scanner. And that way you have real time data. Because if you have to run to a location or in a corner, maybe you say, oh, I'll do it later, I have to go to lunch, or I do it tomorrow. You don't know in the office if the items have been received, if the shipment has been done, the delivery. You want to have your system real time, and that's why Produmex Scan is so handy. I hear from many customers when I show it to them because it's simple to use. That's exactly what they need, because the problem they are having that the items are not put in right away, and you know it messes up your reports and everything because the items are actually in the warehouse but nobody has put the document in there. So let's go into SAP Business One. I'm gonna start my Produmex Scan add-on right here. It's connected. And of course, you know, once you connect Produmex, you're gonna configure, do your configuration. Yes, we do support, of course, label printing. We support GS1 128 label. Also with Produmex Scan, there is some configuration you do. You also set up the users, the scan users in here, and you decide what they can see on the scanner. If I'm somebody who only does receiving, you're not going to show me the delivery side, right? Or vice versa. So if I go ahead and open my scanner, I have it down here. I'm gonna open it, and we do have an Android version. Okay, unfortunately mine is not working right now, so I'm gonna log on to this window screen. So there is my scanner. Pretend I'm in a warehouse, that's my scanner, and I have access to all this. And this is what I was talking about. If you don't do production, issue for production, receive from production, you hide that. So just make the tasks visible what the user needs, okay? Maybe I only do deliveries from a sales orders or from a picking list. Again, if your company says we only deliver off a pick list, then you hide these sales order because you don't want him to do a delivery of the sales order. So you're full in control. I usually say it's SAP on a scanner because instead of you going in here and doing it, you're actually doing it on the scanner. So I'm going to put in a purchase order. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do also? I'm gonna use this one also, and I'm gonna order 2 of those because this one has a unit of measure groups. Okay, we support that, of course. Okay, and I'm going to click add and new, and of course we support the bin locations too, SAP bin location. Okay, so keep that in mind. We really support SAP's logic, bin location, unit of measure groups, and so on. So I'm in the warehouse, the truck comes, I'm gonna pull up my scanner and I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna receive in items. You can put in the purchase order number or scan it in if you have a barcode, or you can say reload and it shows you all the open purchase order, and here is the one. And I'm going to say receive, and you see there's bin location. This is not a bin warehouse. I have some extra field because I customized it a little bit and put some extra user-defined fields here. You see right here, inspect. It's right here. I can make it visible. But I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to scan the item. I would scan the item, and I say, okay, I'm receiving 5 of those. There we go. Then I'm going to go down. I'm going to scan the next item, and I'm going to say, I receive 4 of that. You see a default 1 in here. This is something you can configure. Okay, I did some testing not that long ago, and they wanted to have a default one in there. So you can configure that nothing is in there. And then I'm going to go in here, and this is this item with the unit of measure group. So I ordered 2 cartons. Did they send me 2 cartons, or did they send me just a case? So absolutely you can change it right here. Okay, but I'm going to say they did it. There we go. And now it's going to ask me for a batch number. It's a batch item also. So I'm receiving it in. And the way I have it configured is that it automatically creates a batch. Okay, you can do that too. And I'm going to say, okay, both are in this batch. And you can print labels if you would like. I'm going to click update. There we go. I have 3 items. I didn't have remarks. They would show up too. And I'm going to click post. And it's going to create the goods receipt PO. If I go to my purchase order and I refresh it, you see it's closed because it created the goods receipt. And if I right click right here and go to my relationship map, you will see that the goods receipt PO was created. Of course you can do a partial receipt too, or a partial delivery. Of course you can do that also. So now let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's go on the sales order side. Okay, let's put in the sales order. And I'm going to put customer, and I'm going to put a couple items in here. And I'm going to put the delivery date, and I'm going to click add. Oops, I only did 1. Let me change it to 2. So we have a little bit more. Here is my iPayment because it's trying to authorize it because I still have iPayment running. What we looked at like we saw earlier, and just let's do 2 of each just to have a little bit more. It's trying to authorize it again because it's not authorized, and there is my sales order. So you have your sales order in there. Now you're ready to maybe do a pick list. You are ready to ship it. Okay, so I go in here. I'm in the warehouse with my scanner attached to me. I'm gonna say I do a delivery. I'm gonna pull up all my open sales orders, pull up the number, or you type in the number, scan in the number, and say issue. There we go. I'm gonna say I'm gonna ship 2 of this one, and I'm also gonna ship 2 of this one. And then I can print again, print the label if I would like, and I'm going to click done and post. Same thing like on the purchasing side, and the delivery is done. Again, if I go here, I click refresh, you will see that it will close out the sales order and the delivery has been created. Now keep in mind again, if you have print and delivery, I do get this question a lot. Hey, I'm in the warehouse. I mean, I want to print out the delivery. Yes, you just schedule print and delivery to check every minute. And the delivery form comes out within a minute. The same on the goods receipt side. Okay, so that's a really good flow you can build with print and delivery, so it automatically prints out the document for the users. So that was on the sales side. Very simple, very straightforward. Goods receipt, instead of SAP, you do it here. Production, if you issue for production or receive from production, absolutely you can do it on the scanner. Deliveries, as I said, you can do from a sales order, from a pick list. You can do returns from here and credit notes. Do you want everybody to do that? This is when you customize the logon screen per user, what they can do and what they cannot do. Stock transfer, you can always go in here and maybe scan in an item, for example. It tells you where I have this item. I have this much in warehouse 1, in warehouse 2, in warehouse 5 with the bin location. It tells you where it is, and then you can do a transfer from an item, or a mass transfer, meaning take everything you have in this location and put it in another location. Okay. One of very popular one is the counting, of course. You can do goods issue, goods receipt. The same, you would go in here and do it. Okay, goods issue, goods receipt. But you all know counting in SAP, you do the counting list, and then you go and scribble on a piece of paper maybe. Then somebody has to key it in. Here, you look for your counting list, and then you count items. So you say you are on warehouse 2, and then start counting. So you would scan the item and then put in the amount. Scan the item, put in the amount. So I have to look it up, see how much longer this is. Scan the item and put in the amount. Add. Scan the item, put in the amount. It's so much faster. And of course, this will update in SAP, but you are the manager. You're the one who posts the count. You know, in SAP, you have 2 steps. You do the counting list and then you post it. So you are still the one posting it. Okay? Make sure everything is okay. To me, this is a huge, huge time saver. So as I said, basically SAP on a scanner. So you have real data. You in the warehouse, you make sure people put in that stuff right away. Real time data. And then of course you have label printing here. You have some queries here. This query, people really like it. So this query is, you say, okay, I am gonna look on warehouse 1. And what do I have in warehouse 1? Or you say, hey, I want to look where I have this item. Where is this item located? And it tells you exactly where I have this item and how much I have from that item in what location. So this is a really nice report for your users being on the scanner. Okay, so as I said, SAP on a scanner, you choose what you would like for the users to see. If I go here really quick, just to show you really quick before we finish up, is employee master data. If you go here, you will see on the user defined fields, you can see what I have access to, and then you can also select per user the preferences. How do you want the screen? You know, maybe you want a certain feature on the very top, and also mobile user printers right there. Okay. So this was our Produmex Scan. Very simple, very straightforward. SAP on a scanner. You have real-time data. You make sure your goods receipts, your deliveries, everything is done right away. So when you run your reports with the usability package, dashboards, hopefully, you have real data.